Hi, Leo, and welcome to your August 2019 reading. My name is Donatella, Empress of Swords. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome everyone. And if you are returning to my channel, please like, share, and subscribe. I do enjoy all of your guys' comments. I love it when I see your guys' likes, and especially when you guys comment on what is going on in your lives. I've always tried to be candid. I've always tried to be honest in my readings. I even explain my own scenarios and situations with certain zodiacs. And for a long time, it was really hard for me to display Leo's reading. If you guys have noticed, I have skipped out on June and July's reading for Leo. And it's been really hard for me to come back sometimes to certain zodiacs because if I'm having a certain issue with a specific zodiac, or if there's something wrong with the energy at that time, or if there's something wrong with the season at that time, I have to wait until the message is clear for me to display the right message for you. If you guys notice, you might be in Mercury retrograde right now, so maybe my talking might be a little bit jumbly, but it was very hard to start your reading. And in this reading, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be very special. There's a story that I need to explain to you, and there is a special guest that I'm bringing on my show today. Her name is Elvira. She's actually been my best friend. I've known her since kindergarten. She's also a Libra like me. And before I introduce her, Leo, I just really want to tell you, it was really hard for me to catch up back on my tarot lately. I feel like I didn't have the strength. I noticed that you guys are the strength card, but I feel like when it came to Leo, I didn't have the strength to do their reading until it was the most special time. Leo has been placed in very special placements in my life. I have had a grandfather who is a Leo. I have a cousin that I'm very close to who's a Leo. And my particular special person that I was involved with, their mother is a Leo. So I have had a very good relationships with Leo, and then I've also felt like if you are not to the T exactly of what Leo is expecting, you could be outside of that circle, if that can make sense to you, Leo. And within some circles, some people can enter in those circles, and within some circles, some people cannot enter in those circles. And it was something about me that I always felt like if you want to work through problems, everybody can work them out through communication or understanding or talking to each other. And I could talk to every single zodiac. I could talk to every single person. But at some point in my life currently, recently, I was having a little bit of a hard time communicating with a specific Leo. And I was talking to my best friend this morning. I was telling her, it's been very hard and complex for me to do Leo's reading. And I explained to her why. And today I would like to introduce you all. Elvira, please come here. I'd like to introduce you to our audience. Everyone, this is Elvira. Meet my best friend. Everyone, Leo. This is Elvira.
Hey guys.
Elvira was explaining to me that it was really important to do this reading and explain why I was having the frustrations, because it's always best to be honest. It's always best to explain yourself. It's always best to just come out there. And honestly, you guys, I was almost at this point where I was literally gonna stop doing my readings, because sometimes when I feel like the pressure is on too hard, I feel like stopping the energy because I don't want it to add more complexities to people's lives. So I just stop, airing any kind of shows during the time that I feel like any kind of heavy energy. But as I explain this to my best friend, who's also my barber, they always say your barber, your hairstylist, if that person knows your ins, knows your outs, and at the end of the day, they tell you when your conscious is not at its right place, they remind you to communicate with everyone. And I've always been that person to communicate. And when you're around your best friend, Leo, you're going to realize that you're back to your old original self. When you're around your best friend, you're going to remember who you originally were. And when I'm around my best friend always reminds me that I'm always communicative, that I don't stay away from people, that I always communicate what the issue is, and I don't hide from it. So today, she wants to give me that moral support. She wants to help me out. And today she helped me and she said, you know what, go ahead and do this reading. I'll be beside you. And, I had to bring her on today.
I'm sorry guys, I'm nervous. I don't even know what to do with myself right now. I'm just chilling.
But I really appreciate you pushing me to do this reading for Leo, because I honestly was going to take a break from it, but I kept reminding her that it's not fair for Leo to have a break. And if you guys have some time, at the end of the reading, I could explain a little bit with my situation with Leo, and maybe you guys could see from your own perspective how that might help you. Because maybe if you can kind of see it from outside the box, this might help you with your reading at the very ending. Okay. So when I start with the beginning, okay, in the middle of the center of the reading, it's the Death card in reverse. So there's something in your life that you're not allowing to die. And it's causing some kind of financial fulfillment to not happen. So whenever you're telling yourself, there's something that you can't let go. There's something that maybe you've started a new relationship, maybe you've started a new life path, but there's something, it could be even a Scorpio that you're dealing with. If it's not a Scorpio, then it could be something that you're not letting go of. Like something you should have just let go, something that you're telling everybody that it died, but it's really not dead to you. It's really living inside of you. You want to take a new financial chance. I think that there's some kind of seeds that you want to plant financially, but because of this death, it's hindering you from planting your financial seeds. Leo, in your focal mind, this could be another fire sign that you're dealing with. This could be a Leo, a Sagittarius, or an Aries, but it could be another fire sign who is giving you some kind of like opportunity as far as feeling like an entrepreneur, or they're giving you some kind of sense of freedom, or this person is helping you like land your business very well. You're wondering about them, or you're wondering if you could be with this person again. So there is some kind of person that is, if they're not a fire sign, you have a lot of passion for them that makes it such a fiery, passionate relationship. What's stopping this, though, is in the recent past you've discovered something about this person, Leo, that there isn't any contentment in your family life with this, in regards to this person. When it comes to family, there's something about it that the puzzle doesn't fit right. And that could be in the near future, you're recognizing that this person is in and out of your life. So it could be the memory of them is in and out, or it could be that they contact you here and there. There is no consistency, and you realize that there is more agenda. There's more things that you guys need to work through, but nobody wants to work through these things. There's different family dynamics, and we're going to go into more details with this. In the distant past, you could have been dealing with justice that was in your favor, but it still led to a breakup in a family. If you have been dealing with a close Libra in your life, pay attention to what this Libra is saying, because there's going to be some kind of thing that is unraveling with the information that you get. Also, Leo, pay close attention to your dreams right now, because especially during this time, it's Leo season. We're dealing with eclipses in Cancer and Capricorn. There's major changes right now, especially for you. The time that I realized that I wanted to start my readings on YouTube was during the time of the eclipses in 2017. That was when the moment like really hit me that I was supposed to do readings for everyone in YouTube. And it had to do with a lot of travesty that happened in my life. It had to do with a lot of things that I experienced. I was going through a frustration in my life at that time, and I decided to take a vacation with one of my relatives who's a fire sign. During that time when I took a vacation with one of my relatives who's a fire sign, I dealt with my cousin dying on the same day of that eclipse, and then one of my friends committed suicide. And this was the same friend that would come over all the time. She would need advice all the time to feel happy again. We'd watch The Secret together. We would watch videos about Abraham Hicks. We would watch all these spiritual videos. She showed me so many things. And then during that day was the day that she passed away. And then all of a sudden there's a really important story that I'm getting at that I have to explain to you. There's so much that I need to explain to you, Leo. This happened all at the time of the season of Leo. That my fire sign Sagittarius friend committed suicide. And that my cousin ended up having some kind of heart attack stroke during that same day, who's also a fire sign, who's an Aries. So Sagittarius and Aries got hit at Leo time. And that was at the eclipse. These eclipses are happening again. These eclipses are changes in your life that are happening drastically after every 6 months of it happening. So whatever your foundation is, if it's not stable, If there's any iffiness, it's going to crumble and restart every 6 months. So if you're not sure about your feelings, if you're not sure about the people that you're around, everything is going to be judged again. And these two fire signs were affected heavily during your birth period. And I don't know if you were there. I don't know if you're present during the times that these people are being affected, but you're outside of your castle is being heavily affected right now. There's a lot of shakeups, and if there's no handshakes between all these different communities, there's going to be a huge, massive problem, because then you have this kingdom that is all alone. If it was an empire that you were going to build, you would have to have some kind of handshakes and negotiations to build this empire, make it much bigger. You are the king of the jungle, Leo. But without any negotiations, I don't see anything starting, and it's not starting because of you're not happy in your home. I think it's very displayed that you show this persona, but it's not a lot of happiness, and it's because there's a lot of disagreements. There's a lot of your family members have a lot of things that are going on that people are not agreeing with. And it makes you want to walk away, and you're walking away with sadness, but you're looking more at the negativity than the positivity because of this in and out drama that you've had to been dealing with. But the Magician card is in reverse. There's people that are willing to work with you. There's 4 different elements, and you're just a fire sign, Leo. I'm not saying you're just a fire sign, but you are. You are also just a human. You need other elements. You need the King of Pentacles. You need the Queen of Pentacles. You need also the air signs. You need also the water signs. You need to all be together, contribute together. The next card that I see is the 4 of Pentacles reversed. So maybe there's going to be something about a person that was extremely stingy who is starting to have a different type of life, who's thinking about having a different type of life. Because I feel like you're not going to be holding on to the things that you were holding on to before. You're going to change your life dramatically. I don't know if you're moving to save or if you're going to reset somehow, restart somehow, but there's a huge, complete shift in your life. But this shift is also kind of burdensome too because you have some thoughts. Here's the problem. You want to take a leap of faith. You want to start something new, but there's somebody that betrayed you. There's 2 crossroads that you're thinking about. There's an opportunity of love that you could start with, but a contract must break first. So if you're dealing with someone that you're in love with, you have to reset your life again. You can't be with them. That's because you're heavily focused more on the betrayal than focusing on what could be possible between both of you. I purchased a new set of cards recently, and it's called the Enchanted Map. So I've added these to the regular tarot that I normally do. And it's going to give you a little bit more explanation of what's happening right now, but there's 2 ways to go, but you're mostly focusing on the person that betrayed you the most. That's the person that you love more. There's another opportunity in your life, but this contract never works out. Why? Because there's a Goblin card that I have, and it's in the upside down. It's in reverse.
It's not good. Just kidding.
I just feel like there's something that Leo's worried about that's surfacing out. Because if you have a Goblin's card, it reminds me of skeletons. And sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say Leo, Leo, Leo. Leo, Leo, Leo. Tell the truth, Leo.
Okay. So the Goblins in reverse is saying it's difficult to deal with someone else's issues because they impact your own. No one is perfect, but in this case, you're particularly vulnerable to being manipulated. Don't take this world personally. When the Goblin's card arrives reverse, it's a sign to step back with detachment. Don't let other people's stuff lead you into reacting from old wound. Love yourself unconditionally, set boundaries, and your goblins will fall asleep. Love is the only answer. So, at the end of that, it's basically saying don't take everything personal. Love is the only answer. That's really what I took from it. If you took anything else negative from it, that was the main thing that I took from it. That really, love is the only answer, and don't take this world personally. See, what I was explaining, if you've been dealing with Gemini, this is what I told Gemini previously on my channel. I said, Gemini, if one of us lies to any one of us or betrays any of us, we are, all the people in the world are like a piece of string that's a part of a huge fabric that's a blanket in this world. So if one of us has a lie, or if one of us betrays each other, or if one of us does anything dishonest, or if one of us gossips, or does anything that could hurt someone else, it can negatively impact each other, because it's just like that fabric in that quilt. If one of these yarns shreds, then it becomes broken, and then another shred breaks. I mean, another string breaks, and another string breaks. It just, the whole blanket ends up tattered, right?
Because Leo needs to control their temper. When Leo is pissed off at somebody, they will say whatever they want to say when they're mad, but then they regret it later. But they always say the wrong thing when they're mad, so just don't say anything when you're mad. Just control yourself.
Because I honestly, I feel like I always thought that Leo had the best heart, because when it comes to their kids, when it comes to their friends, when it comes to their family, they're always like on top of protecting them. They're on top of being exciting. They're on top of adventuring. They're on top of making us feel good. They're on top of like taking us out and making us feel amazing.
But it's the temper.
It's the temper. It's the temper. And one other thing that I personally had an issue with is, okay, so in my experience, I was telling Libra, because that's my own sign. I was telling Libra, on my mother's side, it was 3 generations of preachers. On my father's side, it was generations of people that were addicts, like they're just problematic people. You have these 2 different realms. You make a Libra out of these 2 different realms, and you can literally turn shit into gold. Like, have you ever seen these stories about these people where they became from rags to riches, or stories that just like Cinderella stories, like things that are just miraculously, that just, it's something horrific happening, and then all of a sudden just something magnificent happening. When a Leo comes into your life, they were meant to throw sunshine in your life. When a Leo is around you, they're pretty much the king of happiness. When you're in the vicinity of a Leo, they help you become happy. They just have this spark inside of them that is full of fire. They're a huge joy. They have so much pride. They're so popular. They're so beautiful. You're proud to be around them. But if you're outside of this circle, you can be completely an outsider. And sometimes people, when they're outsiders, they take it the wrong way, and they can actually not only jeopardize themselves, but the people that are around them. So what I'm saying is Leo has always learned to have a huge reset. Leo has always learned how to be happy. In my case, my grandfather was the Leo. And when my parents would have problems, Leo would always be around and say, hey, don't worry, be happy, be happy, be happy. You don't have to deal with this. You don't have to deal with this. Reset, reset, reset. But they don't understand how a Pisces and a Virgo works together. They have no idea how this quilt that's weaved together, they have no idea how it works. Leo's just thinking if we're all happy, we can all reset, we can all think alike. But really, the Pisces is superly emotional. The Leo can't understand why the Pisces has such huge addiction problem. And then also Leo only sees how Virgo has been thinking about being logical, putting their money straight, just thinking about the finances, and just, thinking mechanically, and just, focusing, and just being very critical to make sure everything comes out perfectly, because they've been so paranoid with what has been happening in the outside world. I'm giving you this example, Leo, because when my grandfather came into the picture, there's these 2 different types of people, and what Leo can only think was, I just want to submit happiness to these people. What could they do? All Leo could think was, how about they reset? How about we send them off, separate them, and that might teach them something. But to a Pisces might just still wallow. A Pisces will stay wallowing. A Gemini will stay wallowing. A Virgo will probably go fix their life financially and just, just focus on doing the right logical thing for themselves. But it's not fixing the problem. Yeah, we're fixing it temporarily right now. The reason why I'm bringing this up is just because a few months ago I had a dream of my grandfather who passed away. He was in this like royal house. It was full of marble. It was completely white. So I know he's in the light. Uh, but it was like this golden palace. But I could hear him sobbing through the bathroom. Like he was hiding behind the bathroom door and just sobbing. And what that was telling me is once Leo passed away, because I was asking you, like, what does that mean? What does that mean? And then when I was talking to Elvira, she was saying he's trying to talk through you. But see, the thing is that me and my grandfather, we have different religious beliefs. He would never approve of me doing any tarot. He would never approve of me doing any astrology. But I think that I'm the only one he could talk through. So Leo, if you don't accept Libra, you could talk through Libra. Libra will vocalize clearly for you. If there's someone that you've wanted, if there was a Gemini you wanted, if you want to get through a Capricorn, if you wanted to get through an Virgo, if you wanted to get through any of these signs, Libra will be your communication. But there's some homework to do, and it's really annoying to sit there and listen to all the lists of things to do. First of all, there's a lot of emotional healing that you must do. I feel like there was a lot of... See, the reason why I'm saying Libra is because I have the Justice card here. So if you have a Libra family member, please hit this person up. Or if it's the Leo that you're dealing with, or it's a Taurus that you're dealing with. This Earth sign, also, you're waiting on an Earth sign. An Earth sign was supposed to talk to you, and they haven't talked to you. So you're going to find this really funny as I'm saying this, because you know that they have no way of talking to you. You're put on hold right now if you're waiting on an Earth sign to talk to you. Because you are supposed to be the true Queen of Wands. The true Queen of Wands is a person that is governing an empire, a kingdom, but it's very organized. It's not in a place that is very sad and dwelling. It's a king or a queen that is holding on to an empire that is happy. All their peasants are happy. I mean, I am calling them peasants because you understand what I'm saying. Because you have a responsibility of keeping people happy. She always makes me beautiful. But Libra has a responsibility of balance, beauty, finances, and organization. So if you've been looking for these things, ask one of your friends to see if they're a Libra. If you have a family member in your life who's this person, they might help you find balance. But I couldn't get this message out until my best friend, who's a Libra from kindergarten, was here to help me vocalize myself. Let me explain to you why I'm also having problems with Leo. It wasn't just that. It wasn't just because I wasn't allowed to do tarot. It's because I had been married for a very long time. I was divorced for about I was married for about 13 years, and right as soon as I divorced, I met someone else. And there was a spiritual connection that we had between each other. There's a lot of ties. There's a lot of karmic ties too. And it's a huge lesson as we go through all of this. But the issue that I have is the person that I was with, their mother was a Leo. So these people, the Leos, they hold their families. They're like the kingdom. I feel like they're the kings and queens of their families. She has went through something hugely traumatic in her life. This Leo that I was dealing with, who is the mother of my partner that I was with. She went through a spiritual awakening when her husband had left her, and her husband was a Gemini. And when he had left her, he left to another country, and he had remarried all over again. To this day, this lady is still baking his favorite cookies, and no one likes to eat them at all. Everyone says that they're absolutely disgusting, even her own son. Which, I mean, I shouldn't say, but the whole point to this is that she still makes them because she still loves him. She still cares about him. And it's been probably over 20 years that they left each other. And these cookies are still being made. She told her son that if a person has already been married, they already belong to the original person that they were with. They had this information from the Bible that they were reading, from the information that they're receiving. Because this story works for them. But they're trying to play out the story for everyone else too at the same time. Not only that, after that, this same lady was explaining to her son that a person that does tarot could be someone that is doing something that is demonic, that is doing something that is not spiritual. I found myself doing tarot because every time I couldn't figure something out, I was fasting. I was only doing it under good energy. And I'm only explaining this to you, Leo, because if it's not for the tarot, if I don't give this attention out to the public, there's people that are waking up 3 o'clock in the morning that need a friend to talk to. There are people that need a reset. There's people that are extremely hopeless. There are people that are still stuck on drugs. There are still people that are just struggling. They're just straight struggling. They need someone to talk to. And the last place that they want to go to, Leo, is a church or a mosque or a synagogue or somewhere where they have a spiritual teacher. And the first step that they probably go towards is the tarot reader. And my grandfather was drilling into everyone's head that divination was something that was purely negative. But under what stakes? Because I read somewhere in a Bible verse that if it bared fruit, if you are doing divination and it bears fruit, and I need someone to help me find this verse because I put it somewhere on a notepad somewhere one day, and I will find this verse again, Leo. And if one of you guys can help me, I'd really appreciate it. This is an actual Bible. It said that if your divination provided some kind of fruit where it helped people, then you were doing something good. But if it did not help people, and if it was causing more pain, more anguish, more loss, more wreckage, more breakage, then it's not something that is good. You just have, I mean, look at it this way. If you own a gun, are you buying it to protect yourself, or are you buying it to kill everybody else off? The tarot was something for me to use so that way I can figure out what was going out in my energy. When one of my closest friends had committed suicide, and she just wanted to know if I was available. She wanted to know if she can come over so we can have one of our sessions again, so she can come over. We could do tarot readings. We could go watch, anything that is inspirational. Anything that is inspirational. We would watch them together. But that moment when I met my person, I moved. I moved for a period for like just a year to another city that was 2 hours away from the city that is my home city. But thankfully I did come back. But that time that I was gone, it was so hard for her. She couldn't find a friend to talk to anymore. And at that eclipse, that's when she lost her life. And it's because these people are left as outsiders, Leo. There's some people that are left as outsiders, and when they're left as outsiders, your own person that's in your circle is going to be struggling. This person may not directly be connected to you, but there's a person that you're connected to, that you love, that needs absolute help, and there's an outside person that can help you connect this situation together. You need to go find who that outside person is. If you seriously have no clue at all, I'm telling you, I see Libra up twice in this reading. And there's another fire sign. So there's a Sagittarius, another Leo, or another Aries that you can talk to. Or there's a Taurus that you can talk to. So I've just listed 5 different zodiacs that you can process through. Maybe you need to talk to all 5 of them to get your huge epiphany. But there's going to be a huge time of epiphany right now, Leo. And what I was going to tell you about with my issue with Leo was, my final thing was, they had an issue with me doing tarot. But while me and my partner took a huge separation, they told me that their mother had told them, let's go on a vacation. Come to find out, it was a spiritual retreat, and their mother had brought like a bunch of brothers and sisters with them. There was preachers there and everything. And his mother was convinced that he needed exorcism, because why should he be after a person that had been married already, Like, that's such a sin to go and be with someone that has been married already. And if all things a tarot reader, like, that's so evil. When the preacher came to talk to him, he spoke to him and said that he could tell that there was some kind of demonic force, like, holding on to him. Some kind of negative energy, some kind of black, dark energy. And as it was talking through him, because later on he said, I didn't even know what I was saying. I didn't know what I was saying. But all I can remember is when the priest or preacher, whatever he was, and this is all him telling me later on, when they asked him, where is this dark energy coming from? The first thing that he did was point at his mother. And that was shocking for him to tell me that, because come to find out, right before he was born, his mother was so hooked on his father that the loss was so hard, because I guess they were going through a breakup at that time, because he was just so in and out of her life. And it's been 20 years, she still thinks about him. That she said that she was going to do some kind of wish fulfillment with God, or some kind of sacrifice. So she literally slaughtered a goat or a sheep so that way he could be born. She made some kind of sacrifice. But if you're a true believer in Christ, even if this is not your religion, that's fine. But I have an explanation for you. And this is her own religion. You don't do any sacrifices anymore because Jesus already sacrificed himself on the cross. You don't have to do any witchcraft. The preacher already told her that this is some type of witchcraft. This is divination that I'm doing. Maybe you guys think that this is also some type of witchcraft. I'm not sure. But why is the tea kettle, you know when they say why is the pot calling the tea kettle black? It's kind of the same thing. You guys need to understand, where is this source coming from? This source is just to get the truth out. Me sitting here is me being social with all of these zodiacs saying, hey, what's going on, guys? What are we talking about, guys? What is the issues, guys? Get it all out there. Get it on the table. Because honestly, if all we do is criticize each other and we come up with no solution, then that's straight narcissism. Let me repeat that one more time. If all we do is criticize each other and not come up with a solution, this is straight narcissism. If there is someone that you're still waiting on, there is still somebody that you're waiting on, but you're still thinking about a betrayal. There could be an earth sign that you're being affected heavily by. And there's a silence with this earth sign. Leo, it's bothering you. And in my dream, the Leo that I'm very closely connected to was my grandfather. And I feel like it was him sitting and crying and saying, I wish I had the chance to talk to your friends or talk to your spouse or let you open up and tell me what the problems were. Because now that I'm on the other side, I see your point of view. Now that I'm up here, I can't do anything about it, but unless I was up here, I couldn't see your side of your point of view. And Leo, before it's too late, before you're up there in heaven or wherever you think that you're going, before it's too late, you have the time to talk to this person's community. And whoever you're in love with, you need to talk to their community because they've been dying to talk to you. So if you've been afraid because someone's been shutting you out, that's because their community is causing them to shut you out. They need your healing. No one but you can heal them the way that you can heal them. But you need to talk to your community. Once you talk to your community, it's your kingdom of peace. So that's what I'm going to call this reading. I'm going to close this reading now. I'm going to call this the kingdom of peace. The King of Wands is waiting for you. This is a person of entrepreneurship. So this could be yourself. You're waiting to be the next level entrepreneur. But before you leave people and find the next person, there's a person that you need to work on. There's a person that is literally waiting for you. But only through this communication, you're going to find 5 different zodiacs. One more time, let me repeat myself. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Taurus, and finally Libra. These 5 connects will get your Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus to talk. Okay? So there's these 5 people that you need to go through first in order to get that earth sign talking to you again. Okay? So let me know in the comments what's going on, you guys. And I'm going to call this again. I'm going to call this Kingdom Peace. I love you all. Me and Elvira are wishing you the best.
Ciao.
Ciao. And we'll see you again next month. We're going to start with Libra first, but I really do, this time I really want to bring you, Elvira, with me next time on my show.
Do you guys think I should be over here?
I definitely think you should.
Do I make a difference, or am I don't even know.
Let me know. Let me know what you guys think, because I definitely do want to bring Elvira on my show. We're both Libras, and we're going to both be on our show next time, and I'll see you guys again soon. Love you all. Bye-bye.